Every Christmas, the prince dies mysteriously, but no one knows the king's dark secret. In a small kingdom, tragedy struck again. The little prince was found dead in his sleep. "The prince is dead! The prince is dead!" the guards shouted as the queen fell to her knees in shock. It was the second time she had lost a son, both dying mysteriously before Christmas Day. The king rushed out, pretending to be heartbroken, but deep down he was smiling. His secret plan had worked again. He gently covered the boy's body and whispered, "Rest peacefully, my son," hiding the darkness in his heart. News of the prince's death spread quickly through the village. Everyone mourned. The elders came to comfort the king, not knowing the man they served was hiding a deadly secret. "My king," one elder said, "the gods will see you through." The king sighed and pretended to cry. "Why are the gods punishing me?" That night, the queen couldn't stop crying. "I've lost 2 sons the same way. They both died in their sleep. Something is not right in this palace." But the king calmly replied, "It is the will of the gods, my queen. We must accept it." As the years passed, the villagers grew afraid. Every prince died 2 weeks before Christmas, always the same way. And when another death struck, the people began to whisper, "It must be the queen. She's a witch." The innocent queen begged for mercy, but no one believed her. Her belongings were thrown out, and she was banished from the palace forever. Soon after, the king married a new wife, hoping to end the so-called curse. Months later, she gave birth to another prince, and the whole village rejoiced. But deep down, the king already knew the new prince's fate was sealed. Years passed, and the boy grew into a kind, brave young prince. When he turned 12, the king crowned him, but the ceremony was more than it seemed. It was a hidden sacrifice to keep the king's secret alive. Weeks later, while the prince was walking with his guards, he began coughing blood and collapsed. The guards panicked, shouting, "What's happening to the prince?" Moments later, he died, and his crown fell to the ground. The curse had claimed another life. But this time, something darker was coming. Another prince lost, another Christmas cursed, but this time the truth was getting closer. Snow falls over the kingdom. The guards stand frozen, staring at the lifeless prince. One whispers, "How do we tell the queen?" Fear grips their hearts, not because they are guilty, but because they know what the king might do. "Let's hide his body. Maybe he will wake up," says one guard. "No," the other replies, "we must take him to the palace. The king must know." They carry the little prince home trembling. The king sits proudly on his throne, the queen by his side. When the guards appear crying, "Long live our king, the prince is dead," the queen screams, rushing forward, "No, my son is not dead." She holds him in her arms, begging him to wake. The king pretends to be furious. "You took my son and brought him back dead?" He accuses the guards for murder, knowing it's his own evil plan. The queen pleads, "They are innocent." But the king shouts, "My word is final." That night, the 2 guards are executed, hanged deep in the forest. Time passes. The queen gives birth again, a son named Prince Asafa. She prays every night, "Ancestors, protect my child." Years later, at age 12, the king plans his secret again, to sacrifice his son during the coronation. Asafa sits alone in his room. A cold wind blows. Suddenly, a ghost appears, looking exactly like him. "Asafa," the ghost whispers, "do not accept the crown from your father, or you will die." Asafa's eyes widen. "Who are you?" But before he can answer, the ghost vanishes. The boy sits alone in fear, staring at the empty space where the ghost stood, as the palace bells toll for his coronation. To be continued.